What's up, Mets fans? Orange and Blue Thing back at you, season 7, episode 9. The second I just looked up like this and turned to my side was the first time I actually laid eyes on Julia today, because she walked in literally maybe 6 seconds ago, and I was over here. I was starting the show no matter what.
I didn't do my retweet.
Fuck this. I am not waiting for this girl. I'm starting the show on time.
Which is fine. My ass will always be in the chair by 1.
Okay.
Which it is.
Well, let me tell you something. Shout out to the general last week.
Thank you, Andrew.
For filling in. He was 45 minutes early.
Okay. I do recall my first show. I was probably around the same.
Probably.
It's a little more nerve-wracking, but eventually it's just like, you prefer when I'm not here early.
Not like this. This was too close.
We're almost going to match again.
Is our lighting all right? I don't know what's going on over here.
Fine.
I think we're okay.
We look great.
No, but yeah, shout out to the general. Thanks for filling in on short notice. I think I hit him up like the day before. And I wasn't exactly sure because I forgot that you were going to be around.
Yeah.
Because clearly you missed opening day. Not to rub that in. But you were there kind of.
I was in spirit and in cardboard.
Your cardboard cutout was there.
Yes.
And we had a fun time. But, unfortunately, not to talk about the 2-week-old news, but like we kind of knew that was going to happen. We called it. We knew it wasn't really just Mets weather related. It was also they just got swept and they wanted a day off.
Talk about that anymore, but yeah, it's a good thing I wasn't here for that Tuesday show because I would have been nothing but bitter and unpleasant to listen to. So
how was the wedding?
The wedding was wonderful.
Awesome.
Although if you want to talk about bad weather, so it was beautiful. It was in North Carolina. It was like 80 degrees all week, and then the weekend of their wedding, the rehearsal dinner, pouring rain, the wedding, torrential downpour.
No way.
So much worse. It was supposed to be outside, got inside. It all ended up being fine, but their DJ got in a car accident on the way to the venue and couldn't make it.
No way.
And had to send
So what did they do? Just like a Bluetooth speaker instead?
No, the DJ called somebody who lived like 2 hours away and booked it.
No way.
And got there literally like as we were walking.
Did they run in just like you and here?
Yeah, literally. That's exactly what it was like. So at least no, I can't even say I'd be on time because I'm never on time. But yeah, no, it was fine. It all ended up working out, but that was stressful.
Yeah, I mean, it must be. I mean, especially for the I don't know if the bride's like laid back. But
okay, so I adore my sister-in-law. Shout out to Caitlin. She didn't know. We didn't know. We were the bridesmaids. We're with the bride the whole time. Obviously, we come in. We go down the aisle. We still have no idea. The ceremony ends. Joe, my brother, comes up to me. He's like, "Oh, so I guess you heard about the DJ." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Our DJ got in a car accident. Like the guy playing all the music was just a random person that he sent." I'm like, "Oh my god!" And so him saying, I guess you heard about the DJ, in my mind means, oh, Caitlin knows and she just didn't tell us. So Caitlin walks up, I'm like, Caitlin, I can't even believe that about the DJ. She's like, what's wrong with the DJ?
Oh, she didn't even know?
She had no idea.
Yeah,
and I'm
can't
like,
tell her.
I was like, he's perfect. She's like, what? And Chris was like, oh, she's setting up right now. He's great. I'm like, okay. Oh my God.
Yeah, you don't want to bother the bride.
My
with more
heart fell into
stress.
my butt. But no, it all ended up being fine. And congratulations, Joe and Caitlin.
Absolutely. Congrats. So the Mets are 11-6. You know, it's crazy because we don't normally need to highlight, hey, how many games up are you when it's April?
Yeah.
But when I do look at the schedule, I get a little bit more excited about next weekend series because the Braves are coming to town. Obviously, the Mets are a little bit behind the Braves right now. We are 11-6, 5 straight wins, 4 of those being on the West Coast, sweeping the Oakland Athletics, which you could still be happy about, Mets fans. I put up the little sweep video. I was out on Sunday. I'll get to it in a second. My phone decided to break. I dropped it in the pool the other day.
Your pool's open already?
It's open already.
Amazing.
We got put on the schedule for an early opening. I'm like, wow, this sucks because it's going to be so much more work for me to keep it clean.
I have heard the best thing you can do for a pool to keep it from turning green over the winter is keep it open as late as humanly possible and open it as early as humanly possible. So if there's no heat in between the pool cover and the water, it won't, all that bacteria.
No, it's good to
grow.
go. Like it took me the entire year last year to figure the pool out.
Yeah.
And now it's good. But the other day I'm out there and I'm doing the little
the sweep.
Whatever. I'm doing something on the side and plop. My phone was in the side of my zip up hoodie and it fell in.
Did you put it in rice?
No, it's gone. The pool that phone's dead. So usually phones these days are fine in the water. But if you've noticed, I don't know if I ever showed you there's like 3 cameras on these things now. The one camera lens was cracked, so the water got in that way.
Oh no!
It took 4 days to break. It was fine. It was good for like 3 days, and then I called an Uber on Sunday. And Kelly and I went out. We watched the game. And when I get to where we were going, the phone just started to flash yellow and black. And it broke.
That sucks.
Yeah, it sucks. So anyway,
always put the phone in rice, even if
it was too
seems
late.
fine.
It was too late. No, I talked to the guy at the phone place yesterday. He said that, the water obviously was in there and it dried up, but then things get like rusted out in there, and then your screen's gonna break.
Well, at least
so.
you didn't get like electrocuted.
No, yeah, I'm good. But the pool being open in April is insane. So anyway, the Braves are coming in town next week, and obviously that's something to get excited about because the Mets are just a couple games behind them, and they're playing strong right now. Baty's up. Escobar, I don't know if we've seen like the last of everyday Escobar because we want, we understand like this is Escobar.
Can they just keep Escobar like sitting in the dugout, even if he's not like on the roster?
He's an extra coach. We saw how he was last year with him too.
Yeah.
This is 11th season in the bigs. He's a consummate. Consummate? Is that the right word?
Consummate's good.
Consummate professional, and clearly he's not going to try to get in the way of this kid's success.
Right.
And it's just great to see that he is so. We saw it last year.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if I'm maybe not putting the words correctly here, but Baty's debut last year, if you remember, Escobar was at the top step in the dugout when the team was coming out, clapping, patting him on the back and stuff. And like, the guy's essentially taking your job.
It makes such a difference. It reminds me of when we had David Wright on the show, and what was the question? We had asked him who one of his most underrated teammates was, and he had said Michael Kadire because Michael Conforto came up essentially to take Michael Kadire's job, but Michael Kadire took him out to breakfast every morning, was coaching him on the position. Like, that stuff matters for younger players. So it's definitely awesome to see. It reminds me a lot of when basically Dom Smith and Pete Alonso were competing for the same position day in and day out, but they were each other's biggest supporters. I mean, think about it. You play the same position, you're in the same organization, you probably spent a lot of time together.
Right.
So, I can't imagine, unless you're just a dick, you're a person who's not going to cheer somebody on when they do well if they're your teammate and a good person.
My favorite story, speaking of David Wright also, was when we had Cliff Floyd on the show a bunch of years ago. And I don't know if we asked David Wright about this, but I think I've spoken to him about it, whether it was on the show or off the show, when David Wright was a rookie and they were walking through TSA and Cliff Floyd put like a bunch of nudie magazines or something in David Wright's luggage, and they opened it up, and I think he said it was like Essence or Ebony or something like that. And the lady that like looked at the magazine was like, all right. Yeah.
So there are two types of veterans is what we're saying.
Right. Yeah. But either way, like it's team bonding, team building. I mean, they can't do the hazing anymore, obviously.
Right.
But there are ways to, bring the rookies up and do it the right way. So I'm excited to see it. So speaking of excitement, I know you're not big on basketball, but the Knicks are playing tonight, game 2 against the Cleveland Cavaliers.
That on Twitter. I'm like, oh my God, it's one. I have no concept of what point of the NBA season was. Like, I was shocked that it was playoffs. I was even more shocked that the Knicks are in the playoffs.
Well,
how fun.
It's the first time in, I think, since like 90 something that the Knicks, the Nets, the Rangers, and the Islanders are all in the playoffs at the same time.
Aren't the Devils too?
Yeah, but it's Jersey. I'm saying like the New York teams.
But the Nets were Jersey at one point, no?
At one point, they were.
Whatever.
Either way.
Go tri-state area.
Yeah, go team. So Islanders lost last night. I think the Rangers play tonight. Knicks play tonight as well, game 2. But speaking of, this is why we're getting to this, because TickPick, I was looking at TickPick for just like, how much can I go? How much is going to cost for me to go to the game at the Garden? Any of these rounds. We talked about it last week with Andrew, and he couldn't believe it. I don't know if you watched the show, but
I saw bits and pieces of it.
You know how obviously the star rating for TickPick, it shows like 1 through 5 and the stars. The best valued seat, going by like what it cost the buyer and what it's going for, it was like $40,000 per seat.
No.
For the finals, like if the Knicks end up making the finals,
I mean, still no.
$80,000 to go to one game with like you and your significant other.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's like a Taylor Swift ticket.
Yeah, but so I just, for argument's sake, I was like, well, how much would it cost me to go to a game in Cleveland? So next Wednesday, if the Knicks and Knicks and Cavs go get 5 games, it would cost like a little over maybe $175 just to get in. You can't
That's not bad.
No, not bad. You can't get in MSG for like a horrible seat for like $700. So I was texting with Richie and Zappa, and I'm like, hey, why don't we just go? Like, you could get a flight, get a hotel room across the street
for the same price,
and get in for less expensive than what you're going to spend to go to MSG.
Right.
So maybe we're going next
At
Wednesday.
least you get a little trip out of it too.
Yeah.
Go to 2 games while you're there. Do they play 2?
No,
two
it's
in
not
a
back
row?
to back. They give them the break in the playoffs.
I don't know how basketball works.
Yeah. Well, normally there's usually not back to back games in the season, but when they are in the playoffs, it's not back to back. But so wait, well, I don't know. Maybe next Wednesday I'll be in Ohio. We'll see.
As long as it's not Tuesday.
Yeah. So Oh my God.
I do that all the
You
time.
have to
I
look-
don't know if people can hit it, but when I do my dramatic clap laugh, I always hit it. So whatever.
So let's give a little shout out to our friends at TickPick because we love them and we use their service
Yes.
all the time. No fees, no hidden fees, more savings with over $100 million in customer savings and counting. They guarantee the best prices. So I was just talking about the Knicks, but let's just say for argument's sake, you want to go to a Mets game. So April 25th, Mets versus Nationals at Citi Field, 7:10 game. You can get in for $6.
$6.
$6. The next day, $6. The next day, $6.
Oh,
The next day,
God.
$20. All right. So next Friday, I'm about to burp. I think. Am I going to burp? No. All right. So next Friday, the 28th, we have an outing that night with the 7-Line Army. You're welcome to come tailgate with us if you want. More the merrier. So Mets versus Braves, Citi Field, $20 to get in is the least expensive price for now. That's what it's going for. But like we were just talking about, the star rating is very important here.
Yes.
So if you click the 5-star rating and then you see what the options are. So a B deal is not bad. Section 121, row 12, you can get in for $122, up to 5 people in that row. So take a look. You guys know how the internet works. Hit up TickPick, scroll through. Make sure you use our special promo code OABT, which will give you $10 off any order of over $99 in the app for first-time users. App or website. TickPick, we love them. Check them out, and you will not be disappointed. So speaking of not being disappointed, I checked the weather for this weekend in New York.
Doppler Darren.
Even though the Mets are not home this weekend, you know who is home, and that is the Long Island Ducks.
Oh, yes.
Let me tell you about this deal, which I don't think you saw because you were waiting for your food delivery a little while ago.
Yeah.
So I happened to be looking at Twitter because why not? And today they posted their photo day.
Oh, yay.
And look at our boy, Daniel Murphy.
Oh, my God. I love
He looks
that.
thinner too, right?
He looks great.
So, Daniel, we didn't talk about this yet. We've known about this for a few weeks, but on the show, we have not talked about this yet.
And I don't know how.
We keep forgetting.
I don't know how. So Daniel Murphy, for those of you who don't know, is coming out of retirement. I guess he's out of retirement to play for the Long Island Ducks. Ruben Tejada is also on Long Island Ducks. And
Wally Backman's the coach.
And Nelson Figueroa, I believe, is the pitching coach. So it's stacked.
Yeah.
We got to go.
So listen to this deal. So this is obviously photo day, whatever. So position first base, I love, and you can write whatever you want. He wrote my wife. Favorite movie, The Sandlot. Favorite food, barbecue. Favorite color, blue. Favorite athlete, Ted Williams.
Wow.
So I went to the Ducks website just to poke around and see what was going on. Let me see if it opens up straight from their Twitter or not. Yes, it does.
Amazing.
I will drag this over for this little tidbit nugget that I found today. And I told Lizzie about it, and she's very excited. She might be hitting a game sometime soon. Hold on one second. Sorry, guys. I should have had this queued up.
Live show, baby.
Didn't have it queued up. Oh, please. Don't lose it. I put it in the. Oh, hold on. You talk about the Ducks for a second, or talk about our first discussion when we heard this news.
Yes.
I think I was on my way to Miami. It was opening day, the day before opening day. So that Wednesday.
Right.
And we're like, this doesn't really make much sense.
I was genuinely so confused because I know Daniel and his wife Tori recently had a baby boy. Congrats to them. He's adorable. So I don't know. I was like, he just retired. He played an old timers day, but I didn't see him coming back at all or anytime soon or now. So I was so confused, but I'm so happy.
It's usually for guys that have never made it and they're hoping to make it.
Yeah.
Or are at the, like, they get DFA'd or whatever. Like, all right, I think I still got something left. They don't go through the whole 2 years off, old timers day. And he had so much success at the end of his career. So it's like to go from that to be like, no offense. I mean, we love Daniel Murphy and I'm a big fan of going to Ducks games, but it seems like almost a little bit beneath him at this point.
Well, it was also, you have to remember his final season, I believe, was 2020, which was the COVID season, where there was no sign of normalcy in sight. And if you're a player who's kind of teetering on the edge of your career, and this is what baseball is now, I completely understand if he was just I'd rather spend time with my family than do whatever.
Yeah, but then when you have a newborn at home, it's and they don't even live in New York.
No, they're
in Jacksonville.
Yeah, they're in Florida. So from what I read is that he found something new with his swing. He changed something with his swing where he believes he can go back to being a competitive baseball player, which is
All right.
amazing. And it's funny, for those of you who don't follow his wife Tori on Instagram, highly recommend. We talk about prom series all the time. She is amazing, and is always posting wonderful stuff. She is also posting sometimes on her story. Daniel's always out in the backyard putting in work. Like, he hasn't stopped playing.
Yeah.
So in that aspect, it's not totally surprising. I mean, professional athletes, like, or any athlete, when it becomes the end of your career, the end of your days of play, you can't just like.
But what's
give
the
it
hope?
up.
What do you think the hope is here? Like, he doesn't want to be a Duck for the next few years. I think it's like show off and hopefully get picked up at the trade deadline or something.
I'm not sure. I think
I don't really know how it works.
The only thing that I was thinking of was I remember how important it was to David Wright for his kids to see him play one game.
Yeah.
Could be he now has a kid who never saw him play professionally, and maybe that's something that I don't know. That's like the only sentimental thing that I could kind of think of, other than just like the competitive fire of being like, I'm good. I figured out how to be better and I want to keep playing. I support it 100% and I can't wait to go to a Ducks game. It's going to be so fun.
I don't know what you're doing on Friday, but
This Friday?
What, you have to work in the morning? What do you do?
I work, but what time is the game?
All right, so let me tell you guys something. I know these words are very small here, so I'm going to, oh my God, I didn't put the border on again. Hold on. There you go. What is wrong with me?
I don't know.
It's your fault because I was.
It's not mine. You had all the time in the world to futz around with the border with me not being here to distract
But now
you.
It's 16 minutes in.
Don't
I had no
put that
border
evil on me. Go on with your Ducks.
Okay.
What's the Ducks schedule?
So this is their spring training. It just
Okay.
started. So the first 4 spring training games are starting this Friday. So Friday, Saturday, and then Monday and Tuesday.
What time?
Friday is at 1:00.
Oh, I'm in.
Do you want to know how much it costs to go to a spring training game?
How much?
$5.
Let's fucking go. Can you go?
I can't go on Friday. I have to go. Amelia's got a cheer competition.
Okay,
this
that's
weekend,
fair.
So, no Ducks for me. Saturday. You want to know how much it costs to go to the game on Saturday?
How much?
Free.
What time?
Saturday's game is at 6:35, and the Mets are playing at night, I think, in San Fran. So you could go here, watch a free Daniel Murphy and the Ducks game.
That one I'll sadly have to be working, but that's sick.
So this says
free game.
Admission to the game on April 22nd, which is this Saturday, will be free for all fans as part of the team's Fan Fest event, with gates opening at 3:30 p.m. So that's 3-hour Fan Fest. Admission to the other 3 exhibition games will be free for Ducks season ticket holders, or a $5 donation to the Quacker Jack Foundation will apply for all other fans.
How fun.
Gates to those games open at 12:30 p.m. So if you got nothing to do this Friday, and I checked the Doppler, it's supposed to be like 70 degrees on Friday here in Long Island, hit up a Ducks game for free. So that'll be pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Not free, $5.
I know, but
basically free. Parking there is free too.
You almost said hit up a Dick's game.
The Dick's game?
You almost said that. You stopped yourself.
You're so immature. You want to purposely pronounce Jazz Chisholm wrong too.
No, that's taking it too far. But no, that is so exciting, and I would love to go to a game in the summer when it's reliably nice out, and get a bunch of people go. I know you've said, and I totally understand, too busy to add another outing to the schedule.
Yeah, in our group chat, I was like, absolutely not.
I totally understand.
So much going on. You should see our calendar, like our at home. Yeah, our home calendar. It's nuts.
It's a lot.
Amelia's and stuff all the time, and then I'm trying to, either do an outing or try to ride somewhere if I can.
We should definitely, though, just a small group, not an official outing, but definitely try to organize and go.
Yeah.
I would wear the jerseys and everything, recreate the 7-line vibe.
We were supposed to.
So
remember last year, if you remember, during the lockout, I went to the Duck Stadium and had a meeting, and we had a whole plan involved of when the game was going to be, and if the lockout was for an extended period of time, we were going to just do a Ducks outing or just be a Ducks fan group.
It'd be so much fun. Tori had said if the 7 lines there, like, let me know because I have to come up and see that.
I mean, we'll go.
But I was like, no matter what, a bunch of us are going to go.
Yeah,
we'll wear the jerseys. We'll do the chant. It'll be the same thing. So I'm very excited. I might go Friday. Why not?
Why not?
$5.
I mean, I don't know. You know what? I might even be able to do that now that I think of it, because
when's the cheer competition? She's in school, no?
Yeah, we have to go to Massachusetts. You know what's crazy? Like,
she's missing school?
No.
Okay.
We take her out a little early, but then we have to go. Her competition's on Saturday. How long do you think the actual performance is, or the competition, like the routine?
I know it's probably 90 seconds,
it's
but you're there for
it's 2 minutes and 10 seconds or something like that.
Yeah.
But we're going to Massachusetts the day before. You have to get a hotel, stay over. But it's for the love of the cheer. I get it. But it's a lot, man. So Anyway, maybe I can go on Friday for a little bit and then maybe not stay for the whole game.
Yeah,
But,
it's $5. Who cares if you don't stay the whole
and
game?
parking's free.
Yeah, exactly.
Indoor would love
and
that.
It's a spring training game, so who knows? It might be like, Daniel Murphy plays the first 3 innings, then they take him out. I don't know how spring training works with the Ducks, but
free parking.
free parking.
So let's get to that for a second because
what is this, week 5 talking about parking?
No, there's a new development here because
Okay.
Indart was like, we're paying more money, but we're not getting anything
I
extra.
heard
like,
this rant.
What should we do? Like, give us something,
Yeah.
So I did go back to the Mets and I said, and they said, well, yeah, we watched this. Like one guy that he's like, he wrote, the general made some valid points. Is what the text said, but the way it was explained to me is inflation's through the roof across the board of everything.
Of course.
So the way it was explained to me was, and again, don't kill the messenger because we didn't make a stink out of this. We're like, fuck it, we'll just pay it. They could have been raising prices a little bit each year over the past few years through COVID and everything. Granted, they did lose the entire one season.
Right.
But there wasn't a jump at all over the past 5 years, something like that. So it's like, if it went up $2 a year, would you have really bitched about it as much as not paying more over the past few years and then getting the $40 hit now? And I'm like, I get it, but what about the porta potty situation? What about like 80 people waiting to get into the bathroom? Sometimes that third porta potty is completely locked for some reason.
Yeah.
So that is going to be corrected, at least for the games that have a large number, like, what am I saying? Attendance.
Yes.
So opening day, they should have had more than the 2 porta potties there. So I guess the agreement is not the agreement, but like the assumption is now that any game that's going to be either like a sellout or a heavily attended game, then they will
premium game
supply more porta potties in the parking lot, especially now that like tailgating isn't like promoted by the team, but it's like a part of the culture of like going to the games now. And they're when they're expanding the surrounding areas, I know for sure they're going to be adding areas just for tailgating and like things of that nature. So I think that's at least an advantage, not advantage, but like a compromise here. Like, hey,
more places to shit.
You're paying more, but like to wait on those lines was insane. So you weren't there, but it was crazy.
No, but I did. I loved Andrew's idea. The fee to pee.
Fee to pee. Fee to pee.
Fee to pee was so good.
We had some fun with that conversation last week.
That was good.
So speaking of having some fun, we have to give an incredible shout out. I don't know if you saw this. I know you were busy today. To our friend Jacob Resnick.
I did see this.
How insane of a ride!
Happy for this kid.
The rise to stardom from
I'm sorry,
Kidcaster.
It's like you and him are like, I think of like people who went from just Mets
I could be his dad though.
I know, but like look how their career took off from just like one little thing, and you was like, what was it? The sell the team shirts, and with him it was.
Well, the first one was I Survived.
That's the one, I Survive, and then with him it was being the Kidcaster.
He was 11 when he was a Kidcaster.
Crazy! Yeah. What a ride!
So if you don't know Jacob Resnick, I don't know where you've been, but if you're on Twitter, you probably do. So at Jacob_Resnick. He put out a tweet this morning and says, I've been quiet here lately, but thrilled to finally be able to share why. I started a job this week with the Mets in the minor league operations department. I'm incredibly thankful and excited to get to work in Port St. Lucie.
Awesome.
So Jacob is down there, I guess now. I don't know if they put him up or he had to get an apartment or what it is, but that's the story with Jacob. So I just happened to go through, like, I sent him a DM this morning. Hey, congrats, man, whatever.
Right.
And I scrolled back. I don't want to put this on the screen here, but I scrolled back and I guess it was like his first day having Twitter or something.
Right.
But he wrote in 2015, he wrote, thanks so much for the shout. I said, no problem. Did it help out with any followers at all? And he wrote just 100. Like, and now I'm looking at it now. He's like, what, 20,000?
Yeah.
Like that. So it's like his first day of, us having a conversation.
Right.
And then I asked if he was looking to be a beat guy one day, and he said anything really. Originally wanted to be on air, but I'm down to do basically anything.
Right,
and it worked. The kid is killing it. So that's awesome.
So cool.
So I happened to scroll back and I liked a tweet this morning just so I would have a chance to play it on air, because if you don't know about the Kidcaster, I don't know if
oh my God, do you have the clip of it?
I have it. I don't know if they still do this or not. Oh, they do. Because
they do. The kid last year was amazing.
What, damn, what was that kid's name?
I don't know, but I follow him on Twitter. Let me try and find it.
Tell us in the comments if you know.
What was the Kidcaster?
Oh, Jacob Zeus.
No,
that's a different guy.
It's like I've never heard
Jacob
that
Zeus
name.
is the Binghamton guy.
I feel like it was like Charlie, but I could have totally made that up.
Look it up while I find this video. So this was back in 2000.
Eddie Krause.
Eddie Krause. Jacob
Love
Zeus
you,
is a different guy. Who also just got promoted. It was when I was in Binghamton when we did our back-to-back outings, Binghamton and
Uh-huh.
Syracuse. I did a live spot on the Binghamton News, and Jacob Seuss was the reporter.
That's
and he's
so
also like a younger
cool.
guy compared to
Yeah.
like me, you know. And he just got hired to work for somewhere else.
That's awesome.
So this is courtesy of SNY. This was posted by somebody, I don't know who. Mets home run a day. I don't know if that's even still a thing.
Okay.
And this is back in August 2nd, 2011. Jose Reyes at the plate and Jacob Resnick on the call. Hold on 1 second and begin.
And Jose 0 for 1 with the ground out today. Jose facing Eric Hand. Bad hand, actually. I'm sorry. And he will face him for the second time in his career. He faced him earlier, of course. So here's the first pitch from Hand, and Reyes rips it. Back it goes. It's good. A home run for Jose Reyes, and the Mets tie the game. Jose Reyes with a solo shot on the first pitch from Brad Hand, and he takes it into the left field seats. What a swing from Jose there. A great swing, Jose, as we look on the replay. And it was a breaking ball, hung right out in the middle, and Reyes just ripped it to left field. His first home run since July 23rd.
So
How awesome.
good. What was even better about that moment is he had literally just said when they asked him, who's your favorite player? He's like, oh, Jose Reyes.
No way, really?
Yeah. And the year before, they had a girl who did it, and they're like, who's your favorite player? And she's like, David Wright. Next pitch, David Wright hits a home run.
No way.
So it was like 2 years in a row, the Kidcaster got to call their favorite player hitting a home run.
That's
So
sick.
it's awesome. So
You have to get a Tomas Nido favorite play. Who's your favorite player? Tomas Nido. Bang, home run.
Oh, I'm
No shit
so
on
happy.
Tomas.
No, love Tomas Nito. So funny on Twitter, by the way, if you don't follow Tomas Nito.
Yeah,
but
absolutely. So shout out to Jacob. That's awesome.
amazing.
But it's the kind of thing too. This kid's been grinding now for so long.
I know.
And he's still like 20 something, you know?
So I still think, like, oh, what is he, like 14 now? He's like a whole adult. It's crazy.
Yeah. So shout out to him. I love seeing that. It's like, you know, like what's that movie or that video? It's like one of us.
I don't know. I quote it all the time, but I don't know the movie.
Yeah, but so it's like, you know, this kid, and you know, the same with last year. Now he works for Kansas City. Eisenberg.
Yes, Jake.
So it's like these really talented
Yep.
Mets fans in the universe
So cool.
that really love the team and work their way up.
That's one
and-
thing the Mets really do great is, like, you know, the voices that we hear, the people that we see being Mets fans.
Yeah.
I think that's so important, especially when you're like a franchise mostly known for like misery. You need to keep the game, the product you're putting on the field entertaining, even if necessarily the players aren't always. So yeah, that's great. Congratulations, Jacob.
So are you able to stay awake for these games?
Oh, it was
Because last night I was
slog.
trying my best to stay awake.
I mean, you know, my alarm's going off at 4:30 every day now. I will say I stayed awake until Freddie Freeman hit his second home run
Yeah,
and tied the game.
Freeman's
And then
a
I was like,
beast.
I can't stay up this late to watch them lose. I woke up very pleasantly surprised. But no,
Well, I woke
had
up
to
at
call it
this
then.
moment right here because I'm on the couch dozing.
Back in the gap to the warning track at the wall. He made the catch! Oh, another brilliant play by Brandon Nimmo!
So I hear Gary screaming,
Right.
and I'm like, what's going
I
on?
would love if I could have a tally of the amount of times I was woken up from a sleep in my life to Gary Cohen screaming.
I mean,
It's
thankfully,
probably really
I'm glad
high.
he did because honestly, I was dozing, and this was the 9th inning. So
Yeah.
another great catch by Brandon Nimmo, who has quietly become one of like the best defenders
Seriously.
in the outfield.
Like, even going back to last year, that catch he made against the Dodgers to Rob Turner of a home run, like, it's just
Yeah.
embedded in my brain. I feel like since then,
But
He
for
has just
years, it
had-
was just like, Brandon Nimmo was a liability. I'm like,
exactly.
what are you
I know.
talking about?
And I was like web gem after web gem, and those still a thing.
Right. So we were talking about it. You know, is Nimmo going to be potentially, you know, in the running for a Gold Glove?
I mean, if he keeps doing that, yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
absolutely.
I mean, I'm gonna just knock on all the wood I got here, but what a solid signing Brandon Nimmo was.
Absolutely.
Like, he is just like the definition of a solid player. Like, I think he's great. I mean, he's not one of those players who gets all of the hype and whatever, but he's just always doing something
And-
productive every single game to help the team
And
win.
back to the same conversation with Jacob, it's like one of us.
Yeah.
You know, like Nimmo's been down with the team since he came up. So
Yeah.
it's like he even said that when he got signed. He's like, all I know is the Mets, and this is
Right.
where I want to be. So it's great to see him go out there and produce every day, especially
Totally.
with like 2 days after the Diaz injury. Nimmo had that funky slide in spring training. We're like, fuck, is this going to be another injury for the Mets or another setback for the Mets? And clearly it hasn't been. So Nimmo's the man. Let us know where you're watching from. We appreciate your views, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter live, and then also up as a podcast afterwards. We talked about this a couple weeks ago, the gambling partner that we've been working with.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I still can't say anything. There's so much legal stuff.
Of course.
And I'm not
especially
trying to
with
get
that.
sued. I'm not trying to get
No,
them
no,
in
no.
trouble. So like the deal is done. I have a QR code. We have a password or like a code for, an
Let's
offer.
go.
But since it would be different if our show wasn't, there's two rules. If our show wasn't streamed live and it was just a video and I could put up like the legal disclaimer stuff on the screen as we're talking, then it would be fine.
Why can't you just do that?
Because we also broadcast as a podcast and there's no legal mumbo jumbo
What if we
on
read
the screen.
the legal mumbo jumbo?
You
out
can,
loud?
but it's like the paragraph
It's
is
really
so long.
long.
So I'm like, wait, how does like the fan get away with doing like
Couldn't
21 and
we-
over and
I've seen some
pre-recorded?
podcasts
like
that will do like their ads like at the very beginning or the very end of the show, just like read the spiels they need to read.
yeah, but we're not that kind of show. Like even
But could we just like at the end of the show, after like we talk about it?
oh no,
naturally
I
whenever,
think you
it
have
has
to
be at
you
the
have
same
to
time.
yeah.
Oh,
Because if things get trimmed, it has to be like the same segment.
got
But
it.
like we're so like TickPick, clearly they're a sponsor, but like
Right.
we work it in so naturally where like
Right.
we're not like reading a piece of paper.
I mean, I'm every day just shilling for TickPick naturally anyway, so
right.
it's not like a forced read.
So we'll figure something out. But either way, I can tell you about, we are going to have a special QR code on the side of the truck when we're at the
Ooh,
tailgate party.
So the truck is for sure staying.
The truck's staying. The RV is not.
You're
I'm
so
selling the RV.
No way.
Yeah. I don't use it.
What are you talking about? I feel like you guys always use it when you're racing.
I don't race,
Isn't it like
I-
starting to be racing season?
but I can't race if I can't practice.
Why can't you practice? Oh, because
There's no place to go.
I forgot.
So no, I'm selling the RV.
oh,
So
that's
it's on
sad.
Marketplace. You want to buy an RV? It's only
Sucks.
18,000 miles. The thing's a beauty. So anyway, the side of the truck at the tailgate parties, I'm going to have a QR code if someone wants to sign up on the spot.
Right.
And then what we're going to do is, how we came up last year with like different bets, like Vogelbach to hit a home run and this, whatever. We'll
Yep.
kind of have a parlay together where we're all riding together on the same bet.
Cool.
So we're working on that now. Either way, it'll be done. That'll for sure be
How
happening.
will those bets be picked? You will pick them.
We'll just
you will
work on
pick
it
them?
together. I think I might make have like a little dry erase board. It's not gonna be anything crazy where it's
Fun.
like a 6-way parlay for plus 900. It'll
Why
be like
not?
something easier where it's like, oh, I'll throw $10 on that plus
Right.
200 bet, like something like that. You know.
Right.
So we'll work on it next week, and I'll probably get a dry erase board. I don't know if I think it's aluminum. I don't know what the truck's made of, but like, be sick if I could have like a magnet.
I'm sure you could put like you don't obviously
Like a
leave it on there
hook or something?
24/7, but yeah, put a hook on the side of the truck, and then when you want to hang the whiteboard, just hang
Yeah,
it.
yeah. So we'll come up with some kind of bet, and then if you want to sign up, you could sign up. You could use our special offer, and then like whatever. We'll get into it. I don't want to say too much and have it be illegal. So
Fun.
we will see what happens. So Lindor,
Love him.
I had a sick parlay going last night, and he's the only one who didn't get a hit. Fucked me last night.
Aw, Why?
It was plus
what,
900
What was
too.
what was the rest of it? Was it like ridiculously long?
No, it was like 5 guys had to get hits.
Okay.
And I put Vogelbach in there. I put Lindor didn't get the hit.
Right.
McNeil, Nito, and Alonso.
You threw Nito in there.
Yeah, he was due.
And Lindor was the one who
He
fucked
was
you. That's
due.
amazing.
Nito's like 2 for 11 or something like that. He was due. So the only guy who didn't get a hit was Lindor.
Of course.
And then we had the freaking guy in the ropes. Can't remember who the pitcher was in like the 8th or 9th inning.
Yes.
And it was Lindor's last chance. And he first pitch swing
Yeah.
and popped out to right field. I was like, fuck, the
Ugh.
bet's dead. Back to sleep. And Gary woke me up. So that's a story. But anyway, Lindor, as you saw last night, says that Vogelbach would be a good babysitter.
So if you didn't see, I guess they were interviewing.
And you got to tell me about, we named the show today.
Yes,
I
I think you actually did it. It was little boys dinner last night.
Yeah, I don't know what that even means, but I said to Julia,
Okay, time out. Hold on.
now that we could, if you haven't seen, in the past, we would just tell people, hey, the show's at 1:00. But now if I make the broadcast a little earlier, it
Uh-huh.
makes an alert on YouTube and alert on Facebook that says 1:00.
Right.
That's why if you weren't going to be here at 1,
Oh, we were just starting.
I was just gonna just start it.
You know what? I like that. This makes it like a contact sport for me. Like I have to be here.
So
on
I said to
time.
Julia, any ideas for the title? Because the title shows up during the coming soon or whatever.
Right.
And it just said little boy.
Little boy's dinner last night.
And I was like, what does this
Okay,
mean?
Mark Hanna, we talked about this before. Mark Hanna is a foodie. When he travels on the road, he wants to go to all of the best local restaurants, try different foods, whatever. And he'll post about it on Instagram. I believe his Instagram handle is Big League Foodie. So he went out to dinner with Vogelbach and I think David Peterson. And I don't think there was anyone else. I think it was just
Tell me, say that phrase again.
Little boy's dinner last night.
I think that he didn't mean like a little boy.
No,
I mean,
but
like,
that's what it
like a
sounded
little boys
like.
hangout.
Like,
Like,
just like a little hangout of the boys. Like
Yeah,
it was supposed to be very casual, but the way he typed "little boys dinner" last night it made everyone think of like little boys dinner, and it was just funny. So anytime, like when Vogelbach hit his home run, like my whole timeline, I just saw people being like "little boys dinner" last night. It was so good.
okay, so
That was the tweet.
I don't know who
that I
this
sent
guy is.
you.
The great clown snore man. I don't know who that is,
I don't
but I guess this is the screenshot. So little boy's dinner last night, and that's the name of the show today for some reason. So speaking of,
This was one of those things that is just funny for me.
yeah, whatever. And you know what? Anyone who's seen like the title of this show being like, well, what does this even
that
mean? It took us 36 minutes to talk about it. So
Whatever.
there you have
Little
it.
boys dinner last
Little
night.
boys dinner last night. So I guess the boys had, what are these? Are
And,
these
you know,
oysters?
I mean, David Peterson, like I said, the last thing I saw him do is give up a game-tying home run to Freddie Freeman. So I don't know if he really benefited from the little boys dinner, but Mark Hanna and Vogelbach seem to. So more little boys dinners, please.
Yeah, there you go. So last night after the game.
Yes. Lindor, I guess, was being interviewed or something, and his daughter, Kalina, was walking around. She's like 2 years old, I think. And he just kept telling her, go to Vogelbach. And you just hear Vogelbach in the back and be like, Kalina, come here, like calling her. And somebody's like, would you trust him to babysit? He's like, oh yeah, totally. Which is, if you had to tell me, like, all of the Mets, who would you pick to babysit your kid? And granted, he didn't say like this is my number one choice.
Yeah.
But I probably wouldn't pick Vogelbach. I don't know why, and this might be a narrative that like we have created.
I think we talked about it on the show, like
but
we
I
want to
just
hang
feel
out
like,
with him.
Yeah, I feel like him and Alonso are just like the guys you go to like, have some beers with, just like guys being dudes. But I mean, who's to say he can't be a great babysitter? But I wouldn't have pegged him as like an immediate yes, absolutely. But love that.
Well, who wouldn't you let babysit your kid?
On this current team, you know what? I'm just gonna say
or all time.
all time Lenny Dykstra. But
Well, I'd have the same. I was gonna say the same thing.
That's a no-brainer. I adore him, but Eduardo Escobar seems a little too aloof to be watching a toddler. That's just from what I get. So probably Escobar, but I love him. He could be like the fun uncle that, when there's another adult in the room, have fun, but maybe not totally unsupervised.
Let me think about this.
Who are you leaving Amelia with?
Keith Hernandez. Not.
Sorry, Amelia.
I don't really know. I probably should have put more thought into it.
For me, Curtis Granderson. Curtis Granderson can watch any child.
I can get down with that.
Yeah.
And even though I was on the younger side when he was a player, I feel like Gary Carter.
Yes.
Because back in the day, the 86 team was nuts, and they all kind of made a point, even in the documentaries afterwards, to be like,
yeah,
Gary never really partook in that. He was a family man.
He was the
whatever.
normal one.
Yeah. So maybe Gary.
Totally.
Yeah. So all right, on the good side, Granderson.
Gary Carter.
Gary Carter.
I mean, David Wright would be up there too.
David Wright. And then on the for sure not Lenny Dykstra.
Every other 1986 Met.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say a couple other people. Some people have had struggles in their lives, and I don't want to really shit on them even more. But for sure, Lenny Dykstra. So like Lenny on one side, and then like Granderson, Ari Dickey maybe.
Yeah, Ari Dickey. I feel like he would be great at like story time.
Okay, so hold on. I'm writing this down.
Fact checkers, who would you want to babysit your child, and who would you not?
DW.
Totally.
Who else did we say? Oh, Gary Carter.
Gary Carter. I'm trying to think. My mind's blanking.
Dickey. And then the other side is just Lenny.
Yeah.
Okay. So Lenny. Anyone who hangs out with Lenny or Lenny. Let's see. Anyone else?
You know who I'm going to put on the no list? And this is
Buck.
completely. Oh, Buck.
Lucho said Buck.
Yeah, Buck could watch my kid. I'm going to say no. I'm sure he is a wonderful father, and this is not to be taken seriously. But Kevin Plawecki clearly, has been known to keep things that shouldn't be lying around, as evidenced by the dildo that was left in his locker. So I will put Kevin Plawecki on the do not babysit list.
Okay.
Everything else, I don't want to get myself in trouble.
Yeah. We got one more nomination here from Dan Ralph. He says Bobby V can watch his kids.
I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
I wouldn't. I like Bobby V, but you don't need to watch my kids.
Lisa Marie Rupolo says Edgardo Alfonso can watch your kids.
Okay.
We got a hell no for Daryl.
Aw.
No to Vince Coleman. He plays with fireworks. Yep, that's a bad one. Someone just wrote Darren Ruff, but they didn't say yes or no. So I don't know which side
What's
of the fence.
wrong with Darren Ruff as a babysitter?
Maybe
or what's right with him? Like
that's
we have nothing to judge that off.
Yeah, you have to write like good or bad on these because I don't know. Okay, Bobby Bonilla is a no, is what Lucho also said. So Lucho is for Bobby Bo. No, not for Bobby Bo. And what was the other one he said?
Buck.
And Buck.
Buck,
yes. Bobby Bo, no.
Who could babysit my kids as long as they didn't go for walks around the block?
Ron Darling would be a good one.
Ron Darling's a good one. Jerry Blevins, but not if they're walking near a curb.
Yeah.
But otherwise, Jerry Blevins, you could watch my kid, my non-existent kid, any day of the week.
Awesome. So keep them coming in the comments. I'll keep looking at that as we go. But so tomorrow, did Syndergaard pitch?
Never against the Mets.
But wasn't he in line to pitch for the Phillies last year against the Mets? And what happened in that one?
They just pushed his start back.
They
to
said,
give him
he needs
6
extra
days
rest or something, right?
Yeah.
So if the stars align for him at least, and maybe he's ready to put his big boy pants on, Syndergaard will be pitching against the Mets tomorrow against Max Scherzer in LA. As we said, so far he's ducked the Mets twice.
And I think it's mostly because I think one time was in New York and one time wasn't. But I think he definitely does not want the first time he plays the Mets to be in New York.
Right.
So maybe
but the
on
last
the
two
other
times
coast.
we were in Anaheim.
Oh, well, that was the thing. It was the 7 line.
And then I
there.
brought the big cat of what's her name, his ex-girlfriend.
Alex Cooper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she shared it.
Yeah. She's a savage. She doesn't give a fuck.
But a lot of people, like when we were walking from the bar, like, who is this? Yeah. Who is this blonde girl? Like, what's with her face?
No, don't worry.
And everyone that I told was like, oh shit, that's pretty cool. And I don't hate Noah Sydergaard. I think it's just like it's funny,
funny, but it's also like Noah was always the guy with
just the way he went out.
Yeah,
I didn't appreciate, but whatever.
But it was also he was always the guy, like at least on Twitter, if he was running his own Twitter, with like the loud mouth, always making jokes, always making comments. Like if you give it, you need to be able to take it.
Well, it's the same thing with Stroman. Like Stroman's a different breed, but like him saying, "I'm so glad I'm away from that toxic whatever." And then, I
have never
certain quotes will always last, in your brain. So the same thing with
positive vibes.
Well, not only that, but like DeGrom, who I think, did you see last night? He had a no-hitter into the 5th in like 40-something pitches. They pulled him. Something happened with his arm. So which sucks. Like I don't want this guy to get hurt.
It wasn't precautionary.
He had no hitter.
Something was wrong with his arm.
There wasn't like a high pitch count. He had like 40 or 50 pitches, 4 or 5 scoreless innings or no hit innings.
That sucks.
And they pulled him. But the same thing with like, I want to go to a winner. It's like, come on.
Yeah.
Like
enough.
Leave on whatever terms you want to leave on, but don't make up some bullshit,
Don't, I get it. I feel like so many players do that too, like on their way at the door will like badmouth the Mets.
Right.
In the previous regime, I could kind of understand it because, it was kind of known amongst players, whatever. But I can't. Marcus Stroman, I have never seen a fall from grace like that. Like he was beloved I adored Marcus Stroman.
I love that he grew up like 10 minutes from here.
Yeah. And he was just something went wrong in his, I don't know. He took the positive vibes to a whole new level and I've never seen anything like it. I wish him well. I hope he heals.
So speaking of never seen anything like it, I mean, you probably have seen this before.
Marcus Stroman can't watch my kid. Sorry. Just wanted to say that.
Probably not. You probably have seen many instances like this before, but the amount of attention this got yesterday on the internet was unbelievable. So,
oh my God, I know.
Anthony Bass.
This is kind of ridiculous.
Who is a pitcher for
the Blue Jays, I think.
In Toronto. Yeah.
Yeah.
And his wife was flying. She's 22 weeks pregnant and they have 2 kids. And I guess the kids had their own seats. They could see them here on their iPads. And on the floor, there's this popcorn.
Right.
So I guess on this United Airlines flight, they handed out popcorn, which I've never heard of before. Them wanting to make more of a mess on the plane?
I think it was just like there's snacks we have. I on planes.
I've
They'll be
never
like
had popcorn as a snack on a plane.
I have. There's different options. We're like, oh, we have cookies, we have crackers, we have popcorn.
There's
Like,
those
which one do you
the
want?
Bullshit like
It's not good popcorn.
cracker. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had, but either way,
it was probably an option. I can't imagine they were just like, here's popcorn. Like, I'm
Right.
sure it was like, which one would they like? And they were like, popcorn.
So
I don't know. I'm not going to speculate.
He wasn't on the flight. The wife must have sent him this photo, and he went on Twitter and added United because people like to
snitch,
complain to corporate, and see what's going to happen with that. So apparently, they asked the wife to pick up this popcorn mess that the kids made, which I don't really have a problem with.
Right.
Like if I'm, and I understand she's pregnant. Like, yeah, you don't want to have put more on a plate of a pregnant woman who's traveling with 2 kids. I get it.
Right.
So if I was the flight attendant, I wouldn't have said, hey, can you clean up after yourself? But I understand if someone did, and I wouldn't have made like a giant stink about it.
That's how I feel about it. I feel like, okay, the flight attendant seeing a visibly pregnant
read the
person
room
with
and
2
don't
young
ask.
kids
Yeah.
doesn't need to do that. But at the same time, you being a person has a platform, this is going to get attention. There's this corporate company that sees you with the bajillion followers is going to be more likely to do something to appease you than to have the back of the flight attendant, because that's just how big businesses work.
Yeah.
I don't know what actually happened. I know he had said like, oh, they're handling it internally, which could just mean like literally nothing is happening and they're telling you that to shut you up.
Yeah.
Who knows? But yeah, how I feel about it is the flight attendant probably could have just, helped the woman out and been like, is this hard for you? Would you like whatever?
Right. And also they do a sweep through the plane after the flight's over, and they clean up whatever, whatever needs to be cleaned up. But like, I personally wouldn't have left a mess like that.
Of course.
And
I would have told, I don't know, I think the kids are pretty young, but like one of them I'm sure could have been old enough. You could have been like, can you help mommy pick up the
he got
popcorn,
fucking destroyed.
But this is like the good and
The
bad of
comments
the
are
internet.
so good.
Because like there's 2 sides to this. One, the people who are being like, you're an asshole for doing this. I agree. Second of all, though, I saw a tweet that had like 150,000 likes, and I was like, this is why I hate the fucking internet. Somebody was like, so you were just traveling with your wife and decided to let your pregnant wife do it instead of you picking it up? No, he wasn't traveling with her. Obviously, he would have done it. Like, but that's why I hate the internet, because that gets 150,000 people like, oh, great tweet, instead of having an ounce of common sense. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think he's an asshole for blasting the flight attendant on Twitter. Right. But like, also,
he totally thought,
just use our fucking brains.
But when people put things up like that, they think like they have like this dunk, like that. Oh, this is gonna kill it. Everyone's gonna be on my side. Like, you wouldn't put that up if
I also saw, like, scrolling through things. Apparently, his wife, I'm not sure if it's like biological or she was just using this term, but it's Jesse James Decker's sister. She had also posted about it. It wasn't just him. So I wonder if she's getting the same amount of flack that he is.
Some of these replies, like, when something gets like a lot of likes, it's like higher on the chain here.
Right.
So this guy, Mike Drucker, wrote, just because you're rich doesn't mean everyone's your servant. Hope this helps.
I saw that one.
I love it. He got fucking destroyed in the comments, which is great.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. I mean, it's at the end of the day, yes, being pregnant with 2 young children and traveling is hard. That is difficult, but you signed up for it.
I like
you
this
chose
one.
to be a parent. You chose to make the trip. So you have to clean up after them.
What does this one say? Hold on. So this guy replied, genuinely curious, who should clean up the mess your 2-year-old made? As a parent of 3 kids, I'm the one responsible for them.
Yeah.
And then Anthony Bass replied, the cleaning crew that they hire. So it's almost like the people, I hate it when I go into like a fast food restaurant, or go into like Starbucks or anywhere,
right?
And you sit down at a table and someone else's shit still on the table.
Right.
Like,
and listen, I will say,
walk over and throw out your coffee cup,
and I'm
or
sure
your
if
wrapper.
you talked to, and I'm not sure. I have to imagine if you were to talk to Anthony Bass and you were to bring up that scenario of like, whatever, of course, like, people shouldn't just blatantly leave their shit there. But when it's a pregnant mother with 2 young children,
right.
I think it's about having a amount of empathy where it's like, listen, we have a cleaning crew. They could clean. I see it. I'm not saying that I disagree with him for being upset, because it is kind of obnoxious, but it's also not. 1, you don't put it on the internet. 2, like, it's still your kids. Like, should the flight attendant have just been like, can I help you do this? Like, is this, comfortable or doable for you? I mean, I can't imagine being like, I don't know how pregnant she is. I think like 7 or 8. I don't know what he
said. 22 weeks.
I don't know that math, but
pregnant. Like 4.5 5 months.
Okay.
Whatever.
5 months pregnant, like on your hands and knees. I get it.
Shout out to someone we know who's very much pregnant and still traveling to Manhattan every day.
Amanda!
Amanda, shout out to you.
Love you.
So one more on this before we move on, because I thought that this quote tweet was absolutely incredible.
Okay.
I saw this yesterday, and actually, when people write like LOL, like I really was laughing. I read this and I was like, like I really did laugh. All right, so they quote tweeted this one more from a guy named Eric, and he wrote, "I guess throwing trash runs in the family." And it's a screenshot of Anthony Bass's stats from this season with his 7.11 ERA and 6 innings pitched. So yeah, I think
that's incredible.
When there's like, oh, I got a dunk here, that was great.
That's good. Okay, so now this makes sense to me because I had saw it and I didn't know what it was in reference to.
Yeah.
And again, I'm just saying something I saw, so it could not have even been real. But I think the Blue Jays had posted something about like an Anthony Bass popcorn, like they were making like a gimmick out of it, like in support of him. I don't know if that was real. Fact checkers, let me know. But somebody was like, are the Blue Jays really running with this as a good thing? And
Ben Verlander?
Of course.
So one more
against my will.
I can't move on from this now because I saw something else that I have to show, because he found a screenshot last night. Like there was closed captions on.
Right.
Bass must have came into a game last night, or maybe this was old, but either way, it's very funny because damn, where is it? It was so good. Oh, he tweets so much. Here we go.
Okay.
It says Anthony Bass coming in to clean it up. But I wonder if the broadcasters said that knowing the situation.
If it was Gary Cohen, I'd be like, absolutely, he knew what he was doing.
Or was this coincidence? Because that's incredible.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That is top
like
notch.
Finding a way to like weave in a topic without having to say it.
Clean it up.
Yeah. Absolutely incredible. All right. So speaking of incredible, guess that baseball card round 7.
Oh God. Did you do this with Andrew?
No, we skipped. This is our thing. This is our thing.
I guess it's nice we have a thing. But...
So this I feel like may be a little bit difficult.
Oh God.
And I feel like this might be actually it's not going to be valuable, but I think this is maybe a rookie card or something that would have been worth something.
Okay.
One day, or maybe it was one day. So this guy's pretty tall, 6'4".
Great. That narrows it down.
And okay, here we go.
Okay.
Everyone seems to have nothing but glowing praise for the tough and durable blank. The southpaw relies mainly on his fastball, which has unreal movement and a hard slider. He could begin 1995 in the majors, but will probably start at Class AAA Norfolk.
You think I'm going to get this? I was born in 1995.
So in the stats, it just shows his line from Binghamton. So this would be basically his rookie card. I could tell you he is a pitcher.
Okay.
As you could tell from the fastball and the slider reference. What else I could tell you is he was part of a crew called Generation K. I know that was also before your time.
Oh, okay. So is it Jason Isringhausen?
No, close.
Scott Kazmir?
No.
Is that even one of them?
No.
I don't know.
It is. Want me to tell you?
Yeah.
Bill Pulsifer.
I've never heard that name in my life.
There you go.
So that was.
So that was Guess That Baseball Card round 7, sponsored by Amelia. For
How
giving
long
me
did
these
he
cards.
play with the Mets for?
Oh, I don't even know.
I've never heard that
because you
name
were
in my
born and I
life.
was like 10, so I'm not sure. You know who would know?
Did any of the fact checkers get it?
Jacob Resnick would know.
Jacob Resnick would have known.
Yes.
Good job, fact
Matthew
checkers.
Skarloff got it.
Thank you for keeping me humble.
And there you go on the screen. It is not Al Leiter. He didn't get to the team for many years after that. So that's the story with that. So April 29th, like we said, next Friday, tailgate party. Mets versus Braves at Citi Field. I love a Friday game, especially because it is the start of the series. And you're not going?
Yeah, I told you I'm going to Florida.
Jesus Christ.
I'm visiting my.
Are you going to go to any baseball games this year?
It is my 91-year-old grandfather's birthday, and he is ill.
I know. I'm sorry about
okay.
that. Yes, I did know that because that's why you can't go to Kelly's birthday.
I know,
either.
and I feel terrible about that too. I promise, next one, I am there. I was fully planning on going, but he wasn't able to make it to the wedding, so we're going for his birthday.
No problem at all. It's obviously family first.
Yes.
But maybe you can stick around. You go do anything on Memorial Day? Maybe our pool's already open. So
that's the Taylor Swift concert.
Oh my God! All right, guys. So before I let you go, I do want to say I did catch up a lot on the giveaways.
Proud of you.
I still can't figure out the situation on the Facebook stuff. So if I owed you something, just hit me up and I'll reply to you with either the discount code that was promised with the gift card, or I owe some jerseys to people. So everyone else has pretty much been contacted. If you haven't heard from me yet, definitely hit me up. If you go to the7line.com and click contact, I have everyone's names written down. It just needs to catch up on who gets what. So
Perfect.
head on over to the 7linearmy.com and pick up some tickets today. I don't know if there's any left, but today the tickets went up for the Subway Series, which is towards the middle of June. And then 2 weeks after that is a Tuesday game against the Brewers. Those both went up today. So we're doing it a little differently this year, where we put up months at a time. So like the May ones went up all together. The June ones just went up today. And then the next road game we have coming out is Boston, because Philly sold out. And the next one up is Boston, then Baltimore, then Minnesota. So go to the 7linearmy.com, scroll down, see what we got planned and what we got going on. The one that went up today is with the Brewers one is the giveaway with the Mr. Met, like dressed as Indiana Jones for some reason.
So
I don't know
random.
if like, is there a new movie coming out?
I couldn't.
I think they have Harrison Ford's old ass coming out back out, and they they used like that facial thing that they
CGI?
did for what was that movie? Irishman.
Couldn't tell you.
Yeah, a couple years ago, it was like 6 hours long.
Why are they doing that?
Because they can, and people are going to spend money and go to the movie.
So
That's probably what
dumb.
it is. But that one just went up today. And then after those are done, then obviously we'll start working on July. So like the games after the All-Star break. So are you going to any of the games in May? So you're not going next
Tell
Friday.
me the outing days.
My eyes aren't that good, even with glasses. But Saturday, I think it's Saturday the 6th. And then 2 weeks after that.
Sounds fine.
And then the May 31st, I think it is.
Yeah, I should be able to get to all those. I probably won't be able to tailgate if they're night games, and I might be like the second inning, or I mean, at this rate, maybe the third.
Yeah.
I am going to work. I'm not going to take off work, but I will definitely be there in between or around or whatever. But totally.
Cool.
I plan on being there.
So if you are one of our season ticket members, we are giving you early access. I don't know if you saw this on the show or not a couple weeks ago. We are giving you early access to the Boston games and or the Boston game. And the way that we're working it is the tickets are going to be sold on the Red Sox website, a special landing page, just like our home games are, because the tickets are an insane amount of money. And frankly, it's I can't write like $100 and something thousand check for these tickets right now. So that's the deal. So if you are a season ticket member with us, look for an email within the next couple of days with information on how you can get these tickets. You'll have a set amount of time, maybe like a day or two of a head start, and then the rest of the tickets will go to the general public. Again, it comes with a special event shirt, a little patch, and we have a hotel book planned for like down the block, a lot closer than we've been in years past. So that's the story on that. If you didn't see or see the tweets about it, last week we talked about the Oakland A's put together.
Yes, I saw this.
And
that
like
was
over 100
sick.
people did it.
That's awesome.
I mean, it wasn't 100 to each game. It was 3 games, so maybe there's like 40 to
But
1, 30 to
still,
another. But
that's sick.
when we put that up, did I tell you the other teams saw that and reached out?
I saw your tweet. That was so
So
cool.
I'm working on 2 other group. It's not outings, but group deals for Mets fans.
Can you say what teams?
I don't know if I should say that yet,
Okay.
because they're both like super into it. Because
National
it's
League or American League?
both National League teams.
Cool.
And they're coming up soon, like next month. So
Awesome.
that's the story. People were like, well, why would I buy these? I could buy them on. Well, you don't have to. But like,
Right.
if you're going to go purchase tickets from somewhere else, TickPick, or from the teams themselves, you might just be seated wherever.
It's also like there is nothing worse than being a fan of the opposing team surrounded by just,
Right.
the home team fans, or vice versa. This happens every time the Cardinals play at Citi Field. My best friend Justin is a huge Cardinals fan. We always go to the games together, and he likes to sit near the Cardinals dugout, which is fine. I'm like, okay, sure, great seats, whatever. But then I make the mistake every time. It's all Cardinals fans, and not only that, 2 years in a row, I forget the player's name, but there is a player on the Cardinals who grew up in New York, and he sponsors his hometown Little League team.
That's cool.
2 years in a row, the Little League team right
No
behind
way.
us, screaming the entire game, and it's miserable. So
Yeah.
all of this is to say, even if it's just a handful of fellow Mets
And even if you
fans,
showed up and it's like 40 other Mets fans,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool.
it makes a difference of just being like, okay, it's like we have a section
Which
of people.
40 is still a good amount of, like,
That's a lot
when
of
we roll
people
with,
to
like,
be cheating for the
2,000
other
somewhere,
team.
it's
Yeah.
like, oh wow, 2,000 people. But like 40 is obviously a fraction of that. But
No.
yeah, I think that's pretty cool that they're down to do that. And obviously,
Totally.
let's not,
I'm sorry. I need to just I just had a moment where it just clicked for me about how insane it is that we roll with like 2,000 people. Because if you really think about it, imagine seeing in your section 40 Braves fans, you'd be like, oh my God.
Yeah.
What is going
Yeah.
on? Imagine not knowing what the 7 line is, seeing 2,000 Mets fans sitting in your stadium.
Yeah.
That's batshit. I'm
when
sorry.
I try to explain it to
I just had a
people,
moment.
like at like a track, like a BMX track,
Yeah.
or like, what do you do? Like, it's like, oh, I put together these outings. They're like, oh, like how many people go? I'm like, we average like 1,000, 1,500. Like we just did 2,000 in Miami, like 2,000 people. Like
fucking crazy.
Like, do you know these people? I was like, well, not all of them.
No,
but, you know,
I think I've just been like so desensitized because I've been with it since the beginning and watched it grow bigger and bigger that you don't quite realize how big it's gotten. But that's insane.
It's
So
a lot of
sick.
people. Yeah. So so other teams reached out and we're trying to work out similar deals where basically I keep telling them, even the A's, Oakland A's, they wanted to give us like 3 different price points.
Yeah.
But I figured if let's say 40 people took advantage of these 3 price points, they'd be spread
They're all in
out.
different sections.
So
yeah.
like just do 1 price point, 1 section, and
Yeah.
they can kind of take it or leave it. And then it worked out. So
Awesome.
we will let you guys know on the next 2 teams that we're talking to right now. And as soon as I have those links, I will be sure to share them. So shout out to Jacob Resnick again.
Yes.
Awesome job working up the ranks. And hopefully, you know, I'm sure his plan is not to stay in Florida forever. So get back up with the big team and do your thing. So Mets tonight, Knicks tonight. Knicks game should maybe be over by the time the Mets start. I don't know if I could really stay awake all night. I'm going to try my best.
I feel like if they win,
You know that this
you'll
has
have the
caffeine.
adrenaline.
This is a seltzer that has caffeine in it.
Gross.
It's still like a 0. No, it's like you drink.
I don't like seltzer.
Oh, okay. So
And I don't drink caffeine.
if you're a
by
seltzer
choice.
drinker, I took the tag off here because I'm not trying to give out any free ads here. But
That's why I thought it was just water.
no, if you're a seltzer drinker, you know, like
Yeah.
the mango, the pineapple, whatever.
Right.
I saw this had caffeine. That's the label right there. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, I didn't have coffee yet today. I'll just buy this.
Is it working? Do you feel
I
more
read the side of
energized?
that. I think it basically has like 2 cups of coffee as far as
Damn.
like caffeine
In
levels.
water?
It's not water.
Well, it's seltzer, but still, it's water.
magic. It's
That's
magic caffeine. I don't know what the fuck it is. I'll
Crazy.
drink it.
gross.
All right, guys and gals, we will see you next week.
Well, oh wait, are we doing a giveaway or no?
No, I skipped last week. We have to think of a new process here because this is,
Ugh.
I love doing it,
Yeah.
but it's harder to figure that out afterwards.
Okay.
I think what we might start doing from now on is we'll do the giveaways on special days when we get like the stuff from the Mets, like the box of stuff we have there. That's like last year's stuff.
Right.
When they have the extra giveaways, maybe we'll do it like once in a while thing where it's not as hard for me to track
We
people
could
down.
also just do like fact checkers, people who comment on the show, because commenting puts it into people's news feeds. It's kind of the same as sharing.
Well, I think the only way we can do this realistically is like you said and do it live.
Right.
Don't wait a
That's
week.
what I'm saying is pick someone right now and be like, you get free shit,
Yeah,
message
yeah.
us. You don't.
That's easier.
Yeah.
But if it's like maybe you shared the show last week, you didn't watch next week.
Yeah.
I said your name, that I can't find you.
Right.
And like you don't hit me up and
Didn't
I can't DM you.
I mean, I could just
It's so much work.
I could be combining the 2 shows, but didn't we for a while ask like a trivia question into the chat and then the first person to answer like got a prize? We could just do that again.
Yeah, maybe that's what we'll start next week.
Okay.
We'll figure it out
Can
for
we
next week.
guess the baseball player card is now a game for you, not me.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. So yeah, shout out to all you guys. Thanks for watching. Hit the share, subscribe, all that stuff. If you're watching on YouTube, definitely subscribe. Leave a comment. It helps the show. And if you're listening afterwards on Google Play, Spotify, iTunes, whatever, definitely rate, review, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And we will see you guys next Tuesday.
Yes, at 1 o'clock, normal time.
1 o'clock next Tuesday, and we'll have something to give away. It'll be fun. All right, guys, have a good one.
$100.
Let's go, Matt. Skiddity bop or whatever it is. Skibbity bop.
Skibbity bop.
Well, what is it really?
It's hold on. What are the books? Scoob et in the
Because you messed it up.
Scoob et knee tea tub. Scoob et knee tea tub.
Okay.
Skibbity bop.
What she said. And something about dinner, little boy or something.
Little boy's dinner last night.
Great show. And don't let Lenny Dykstra babysit your kid.
Never.
Bye.
Bye.